Thank you all for being here in the webinar today. We'll be going over the 5 key marketing strategies every auto repair shop should be doing right now. I'll add a little bit of right now there because hopefully none of these things, if you aren't already doing, you won't delay on implementing them, because I think they're really important to ensure that your marketing strategy is cohesive and going strong, and ensuring that you're getting those phone calls, getting those cars coming in. So yeah, again, thank you all for being here. If you're excited to get going, if you could throw a 1 in the chat, that would be great. So please throw a 1 in the chat. This also helps me know that the chat is working. So awesome. We got a bunch of 1s. Perfect. Let's get started on what these 5 key marketing strategies are. So again, house rules to kind of get things going. Turn off your cell phone. That way, hopefully we can have your dedicated attention here today for these next 30, 45 minutes or so, where we go over some of these strategies. And that way, again, as you're heavily invested, you'll be able to ask some great questions, and we'll go back and forth in answering all of those. And speaking of questions, feel free to type those questions in the chat box or the Q&A section, whichever is easiest for you. And then again, I'll do my best as we go through it to answer. But again, if I happen to miss it, I will scroll back through and make sure that I answer any and all questions, because I do appreciate you all for being here live with me today. All right. And again, for those of you that may not know who I am, I'm Kelsey Outram. I'm co-founder and CEO of Lift Auto Repair Marketing, and we are an all-in-one online marketing company for auto repair shops. That's all we focus on. That's all we love doing, and we want to continue to help this industry the best that we can. So for today's agenda, what we'll learn. So as we mentioned, we'll talk about 5 things. First off, we're going to talk about building a strong online presence, what that means in terms of building a strong online presence. It's going to mean a whole host of different things. We'll go over what that is. Number 2, leveraging social media marketing, kind of the basics of what that should look like. Our previous webinar went really in depth on social media marketing and how to go about setting that all up in your social media calendars and getting engagement, things like that. So you want a little bit more deep dive on that section after we go through this, I mean, feel free to see our webinar from last month specifically on that. Number 3, we're going to be optimizing your website for search engines. So again, we want to make sure first and foremost that your website can be found. But once they get there, we want to make sure it's optimized, it's ready to convert as well. Number 4, we'll be implementing text marketing strategies, just what that sort of looks like, and ensuring that you are getting the most out of the CRM. If you don't have a CRM, well, we can definitely talk after this, because we also have a CRM that integrates with a bunch of point of sale systems. So, but very important to be able to leverage this, because everyone reads their text messages these days. And number 5, and last but not least, catering to your audience, how to best ensure that the audience is happy, they're engaged, they're really communicating what you're putting out there in terms of your brand. All right. So understanding the digital marketing landscape. So first and foremost, the most important thing is building a strong online presence. And so not only does it include building a well-designed, user-friendly website that showcases all the different things that you do and the areas that you serve, your unique selling propositions, but again, we need to make sure that the website is found. So building a strong online presence really coincides a lot with SEO in this situation, but also, I mean, your overall brand management. But SEO, for those of you that don't know what SEO stands for, search engine optimization, and that strictly is going to heavily correlate to Google, because the majority of people that are searching for your business, they go to Google, they type in things like auto repair, mechanic near me, they type in brake repair, things like that, where they're looking for a shop near them that could best service them. And now the question becomes, how do you become the one that's ranking so well? You need to become a trustworthy result, because at the end of the day, Google is a trust-based business, and they want people to keep using Google over and over again. How do they do that? They need to show trustworthy results to ensure that people keep coming back. They're finding Google useful. And so now the question becomes, how do you as a shop owner become a trustworthy result for Google? A bunch of different things need to take place. You need to make sure that you're using Google's product, your Google Map listing, consistently updating things in there, doing postings, updating products and services, and ensuring that that's all clean. Getting reviews. Reviews is a big thing that ensures that, hey, other people are referring you, they're talking about you. You want to make sure you're responding to those reviews, thanking them. Or sometimes, obviously, bad ones come through. Make sure you're responding them in a professional manner. again, that overall helps build this strong online presence across the board where Google knows and trusts what you're doing, and that you can be a popular result when some of these searches are appearing in the web. So that's going to be a big portion in terms of ensuring that your presence is strong. And once they get there for the website, you want to ensure that you have a clickable phone number, your website's mobile friendly, because again, about 60-70% of the users are coming from their phone. So you want to ensure that the website is very easy to use, very easy to navigate, because again, you won them by getting them to that point of visiting your website. You want to make sure that then they can just tap on the phone number, give you a call, they can schedule an appointment that is very easy for them to navigate and figure out how to do. So those are big things that you want to ensure that is taking place. Some very friendly photos, whether it's of yourself as the owner or your team outside of the shop, just giving the customer a feel of who they potentially will be working with. And it's all very important in terms of creating a strong online brand for yourself. Okay. And then optimizing again for your website for search engines, like we talked about with SEO. I mean, there's different things that need to take place. One, yes, locally, very, very important to you ranking well in the maps. So different techniques there for your local SEO. And then also in terms of, there's different aspects of SEO. So there's your on-site SEO in terms of what's on your website. There's going to be the off-site SEO in terms of things off of your website, and things on other people's websites that are pointing back to you. A whole host of different things that then cohesively tie together, build that overall power and brand within Google's eyes, that they'll build that trust and rank you better for more and more search results. You don't want to only focus on one particular search result, unless that's the only thing that you ever want to appear for. I'm assuming that most people want to be able to capture the audience in much different ways, because no one types in the exact same thing every single time. Some things are in the forms of questions, some things are very short and right to the point. So again, you need to make sure you have information for Google for it to understand. It should be ranking you for all these different things as it all relates to you, right? So number 2, we're going to be talking about leveraging social media marketing. And again, there's different takes on social media and how effective it can be. But again, so many people are on social media these days. I mean, I know I, for one, I get caught in the game of just constantly scrolling through, looking at my phone, seeing different updates. And I'm sure many people are doing the same. So now the thing becomes, how do we leverage those eyeballs that are looking at their phones, looking at social media? Now you want to make sure that without doing any postings or anything, of course, naturally, no one's ever going to see anything. Your brand awareness is just not there because that consistency isn't happening. At the end of the day, consistency kind of will hold you above the rest of your competitors, because to invest the time or invest in having a marketing company take care of it is next level. It's something that other competing shops aren't doing, that again helps set yourself apart when it comes to social media. And like I've mentioned before, a really powerful way is to get video testimonials or just overall reviews and things from your customers on your social page. Kind of builds that brand, builds that trust in the community. And when you have trust within the community, people will come. And so that's where you want to make sure that you're just building that overall presence that you want to leave. It's like social media becomes a consistent shotgun blast approach where it can reach so many people. The more people that, again, like your page, the more people that interact, the more people that will see it. So you want to make sure that you understand what your community even wants to see, and then that way they're engaging and interacting. And then the more that your business is the one that pops through their mind, the better off that you will be in the long haul. So yeah, that's what we'll be looking at in terms of how to properly leverage social media. Next is implementing text message marketing strategies. So again, for those of you, I guess throw a 1 in the chat if you have a CRM. And again, for those that don't know what a CRM is, CRM just stands for Customer Relationship Management. And so it's a platform that allows you to kind of host all the data points of all the people, the emails, the phone numbers, the addresses of all the people that have come in before. And then that's data that you now have, that then you can reach back out to these people in the form of email or texting, whatever it may be. So that way you're the front of mind when it comes to ensuring that people come back if maybe they haven't visited in a while. Just different mechanisms that allows people to streamline communication with your shop. So very important thing to leverage. But again, throw a 1 in the chat if you do have a CRM. Throw 2 if you don't. All right. So, okay, a bunch of people have ones, which is great. I'll love to see CRM. We have a couple of people that put twos, which again, that's totally fine as well. But I think it's very, very important to be able to have something to leverage. And so if it's something that you're curious about, we can talk more offline in terms of how our CRM it implements and integrates with your data of customers and how you can reach back out to them via text. But different marketing strategies that you can have. We like to leverage something in the form of a monthly promo. So similar to how you would send out a blast on mailers. If you do mailers, you usually have a couple specials on there. With text message now, you are engaging not only in new and potential existing customers, but you're engaging primarily in all your existing customer base. So this way, you need to come up with good promotions that then will engage with this existing customer base to ensure that they come back. Obviously, what everyone needs are going to be oil changes at the end of the day. So oil change marketing strategies work very, very well. It's just a friendly reminder in a sense of, hey, oil change. Oh yeah, I need to take care of that. Oh yeah, Bob's Auto Service is where I need to go because they reminded me just now. And oh, awesome, I can get $10 off of my oil change. Whatever it is, brings them back. When you go there now, it's on you to do a proper digital inspection, ensure that everything is going right with the car. If there's something else, just share that information, and you can keep building that all through texting. Again, you can do this all on the phone back and forth. They don't even need to be there, and just kind of builds this really, really strong loyalty brand within texting. So that's where engaging content comes into play in terms of personalization, compelling information, clear call to action at the end of the day. You want to make sure that, yes, you're blasting out text messages, but you're always addressing them by name. You do not want to keep it general where you're just saying, hello, this is Bill at so-and-so service. Like, again, people will start feeling like it's a robot talking to them. So you want to make it each one unique, change up the wording, but always ensure that the name is there. Feels like the person's being addressed. There's always power. There's power in names. So make sure that you're always using everyone's name properly there. But it's really, really important to know that timing is crucial. You do not want to oversend to individuals that you text to, because they will unsubscribe very, very quickly, because no one wants to see a whole blast of text every other week in terms of, oh, yep, there's the shop again. They're sending something else out to me. You want to be, you want to create a good spread in terms of the cadence of how often you want to text people, because yes, you want to follow up with them after they come in, make sure that they're happy. Yes, you want to make sure that you're responding back and forth if they're willing to leave a Google review. If you're sending out monthly promos, if you're reminding them they haven't been in a while, there's just so many different text messages that can happen. So make sure that whatever CRM platform you're using is doing a good job of spacing out the people that are getting text messages. There shouldn't really be more than one or even two text messages within a given month. One, honestly, is plenty. Sending that one and then putting them back in the workflow later on. If they don't engage, that's totally fine. But just make sure you're providing a proper cadence there in terms of the texting that goes on there. So I'm going to stop there for now. Any questions so far in regards to any of the topics that we have discussed? Any other strategies you want to talk about? Okay, so someone is asking what other marketing promos have we found effective? That's a great question. So in terms of other promotions, so the overall dollar offs, that will obviously work pretty well, because I mean, with that, you're able to usually use a bigger number in the sense of dollar off, and then you can say for up to X amount of dollars in services or whatever it is. Usually that works pretty effectively, or even then you can just say, some restrictions apply. Please give us a call if you're interested in learning about if you properly qualify for the special, or something along those lines, that then creates an engagement with the audience, makes them curious about what's going on. And then also different specials around seasons that tends to work pretty well, because people like to see that you're involved in the community, you're aware of what's going on. Right now, back to school specials are very, very popular, and they work very, very well, because again, people are already spending lots of money in terms of getting their kids all the school supplies and that kind of stress that's involved with that. And now, if you're ensuring that, hey, we have a back to school special, give you some peace of mind on making sure that you're able to drive your children safe to and from school as the school year starts. That's a great thing to be able to implement. So great question. Hopefully that helps in terms of marketing strategies. But I don't see any other questions, so we're going to keep on going. So now catering to your audience. So now once you've built an audience, you want to ensure that you're, again, communicating with them the right way. So in terms of, first, you want to create compelling content, then engage with the audience, manage online reviews, staying up to date with industry trends, and adapting to strategies for maximum impact. And so the question becomes, okay, what is compelling content? Like, what does that even mean? And so in your area, maybe within the audience that you created, maybe it's a bunch of memes or whatever it is, where the people are like, yep, I love how funny this shop is and the humor that they bring to the table. And so if you really are leaning in towards that, and that's something that maybe you should continue to apply in social media. And some people appreciate that. They appreciate the humor, the relaxedness, and not the non-seriousness vibe that the shop gives off. Or some people love the expertise that maybe you bring. Maybe you constantly are sending out your workers to different trainings and things, and you're creating posts about, hey, this is what one of our technicians learned this week. And you have a video like them practicing on said thing that they're learning. You're showing that in the shop. It could be along those lines, and that's really compelling. People love to know that, oh, this person on the up and up, they're learning all the latest things, and I know if I take my car in there, I have nothing to worry about, because they're already up to date on what's happening. So that's what compelling content. You have to understand your customer. You have to understand what they're engaging with, and then continuing to be consistent with making posts and things related to that item, regardless if it's on social media, if it's in the form of a blog, and just things that is allowing Google to read all those things to ensure that you're populating for the best results. And then down here, number 3, I know says managing online reviews. I've seen so many shops, not respond to any of their reviews that are online, regardless if it's on Google or Facebook or Yelp or RepairPal, wherever it may be. So many people do not respond. And the primary reason is they don't have time. But either make the time or find someone else to respond to them for you, because those are just huge data points that you're missing out on, not only in feeding Google, but for customers that love to read reviews in this day and age. I mean, you look on Amazon, there's just hundreds and hundreds of reviews for every product and for every business, for restaurants. Before you go there, I mean, I don't know who does it, but I know I read the reviews all the time just to see, okay, like, what is, like, will this be a restaurant that I can bring my children to, or do they have good menu items there, that something that I'm interested in, or whatever it may be. And then you can see that, oh, someone responded negatively about this, but then boom, the restaurant or the business responded right back, explaining the situation and working around in a very professional manner. That's what you want to be able to see. You want to be able to see if the business cares. So that's where you want to make sure that you're not just ignoring your reviews, you're responding, thanking people, figuring out just how to better support the community there. So it's a big aspect there that you want to make sure that you're doing to build that, again, that consistency. I think everything relates back to that consistent word at the end of the day, but you want to make sure that you're doing those items to keep the audience happy and knowing that you care about what's going on. So that's what kind of catering your audience means there. So again, in summary, understand your target audience, build a strong online presence, use SEO techniques to ensure that your website is being found, that you're being found in the maps online, because without it, again, you'll be at a loss. You'll be like, why did I spend thousands of dollars on this website, but I'm not getting any leads from it? Well, it's because there's a lot more work that needs to go into play into ensuring that your website, your map listing appears consistently for the people in the area. Yes, you may get lucky here and there. And a lot of people say, well, I only get things through word of mouth. That's how I get on my referrals. But imagine if you also got a bunch of leads through Google, where a lot of people are searching. Imagine the potential business that you'd be able to create in your area, and not having to worry about, well, I can't hire because I'm not getting that many leads. And so what we have is working. Like if you can build a better online presence, you can build more traction within the area that way. All right. And stay connected through text messaging. Again, if you don't have a CRM, please find one, regardless of if you want to talk to me or talk to other different CRM companies in the industry. Find one. It will greatly improve the efficiency of your shop, primarily because of the different touch points that now you're able to create with the customer base. You don't want a bunch of people to just be one-timers. You want to lengthen out that lifetime value for the customer. So by doing texting, people read the text messages probably like 97% of the time. I saw a stat. I think it might be 98. I think, again, it's a very, very high percentage of people can't help but at least read the text. And with that, if they read your business name, they see that, oh yeah, I need to go back in for an oil change. It's been a little bit. It's just like a friendly reminder for them, and a very easy way to communicate with their customers, especially as some of the younger generation is continuing to get older. They're the ones that are going to be your customers. That's how they communicate. So you want to make sure that you're going to the places that are easy for them. And then adapting your strategies for maximum impact. Again, everyone's community is different. Yes, there's implements that are going to be very similar to what's needed for a customer that needs an auto repair, but everyone can slightly tweak their strategy to fit them, to fit their local community, to create that maximum impact. So always take a deep dive in understanding your customers, especially understanding the ones that are very happy with you, why they're resonating so well with the shop, and really continue to enforce that, like online, not just in person. Make sure they can feel that presence online. And again, people will flock in droves to ensure that they come to the shop. So again, any questions in regards to kind of the 5 top things that we have chatted about today? So SEO, how long does it take? So that's a great question. So SEO, there isn't a magic number that in terms of length of time of ranking better. It can sometimes be really quick. Sometimes it can be really long. It depends on where you are. And at times it just depends on how Google is receiving the information that you're giving it in your given area. There's no exact science to it, unfortunately, but usually with the consistency of practice across so many different shops, so what we've seen and what we typically try to implement works within an average time frame of, say, 3 to 6 months is usually like that go-to window. Again, it can vary. I would love for it to be faster, but it's nothing that can happen always overnight. So just know that usually SEO is going to be a little bit more long-term play. When you're looking for quick gains, quick leads, Google Ads is a fantastic route to go. Granted, I know we didn't dig deep into that way as a marketing strategy today, because again, it can be a little bit more costly in terms of that investment and ensuring that your budget is being maximized. There's a lot that goes into Google Ads. I know people sometimes give up on it if they try to do it themselves, because again, there's a lot in there, and Google will make sure you use your budget. So we want to make sure that it goes to the right places. But if you're looking for quick wins, quick leads, Google Ads is going to be a fantastic route to go on. Make sure also though that you're not just throwing a very, very minimal budget on there per day, because that budget will get sucked up in a second, and who knows how useful those clicks even were. So give yourself a pretty good allotment of budget. Usually I recommend around at least $1,000 a month in Google Ads to make sure that you can get enough good data for what's going on in Google, and making a good decision from there. If you should invest in more, if you actually don't need more, you can invest less, or whatever it may be based on your given shop situation. So yeah, great question there in terms of SEO. Hopefully that answered it there. But yeah, okay, that's it for now. There's a few other Q&A again. A few other items though in terms of our part and what we do. So if you want to reach out, feel free to reach out directly to me here, 877-733-3446. or you can email us at info@liftautorepairmarketing.com. You can join our Facebook group. So we have a Facebook group of, I think, almost 1,300 other owners now. And just type in Auto Repair Shop Owners Mastermind. You should be able to see our group right there at the top. Click on join. There's a few questions to answer before you come in, just to ensure that people are auto repair shop owners before they join, because we don't want a bunch of spam stuff just to kind of devalue the group there. So there's a few questions there, but once you answer those questions, we approve you and you're in the group, and there's a lot of good discussion that happens in there. If you're interested in scheduling a meeting, maybe learning more about us, if you want me to evaluate your current online presence, see things that can be improved upon, or suggestions of maybe your Google ad campaign and how to make that better, feel free to schedule an appointment here with me. You can just go to www.liftautorepairmarketing.com/schedule, and I'll go straight to my calendar, and you can book a time with me. We also have a free marketing checklist. Go.liftautorepairmarketing.com/marketing checklist, or you can go through our homepage of our website and see it there. It's a free download. It goes over all the basic elements of your online presence that you want to make sure is in place. But at least that way you have a checklist to make sure, again, this is all done, and know that you're kind of in the best position there to continue to grow your online presence. And then we also have a book. So Drive More Business. You can click on this link, buy it on Amazon. Here it is, right here. Drive More Business, step-by-step guide to internet marketing for auto repair shops. So hopefully a very valuable tool there that my wife and I wrote in terms of a book together. The go-to elements of your marketing strategy online for your shop, all things that you should implement. It even literally walks you through in terms of Google and your map listing and click by click of where to go. So yeah, hopefully a very valuable tool. If you are interested in learning more, I mean, feel free to get that book on Amazon or Kindle. I think it's like $1 on Kindle, so you can do it that way. But any last questions before I'll let y'all go? Oh, so says they're gonna book a strategy. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to talking with you more after this. Yeah, so the social media webinar, again, that was last month, where we dove in deeper into social media and different strategies, different just how to build a calendar properly, build all that content. So if you want to check out the last month's webinar on our YouTube channel, feel free to do that. And if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, so regularly we post things like our webinars there. We have a podcast there that we interview other successful auto repair shop owners or other influential people in the auto repair shop industry that we think that provide valuable information in terms of what's working in their shop and what kind of help them set themselves apart. And also we have some other just basic testimonials and things in there. So if you haven't subscribed, I mean, go ahead and click the subscribe button there. But thank you all for being here, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.